guys, so today I thought I'd do a little bit of research and I might make this a series actually. I just want to talk about the history of those skincare brand Good Molecules, and what kind of prompted me to think about this was I did a video talking about my favorite, I think it was Korean cleansers or something like that. And Good Molecules is one of the products I discussed. And then people started talking, well, they're made in Korea, but they're not really Korean, which is actually true. And it kind of led me to think, man, I should do a video about the history of Good Molecules. It's kind of interesting. It's still kind of a newer brand, and talk about their backstory. So I thought I'd do that today. And if you want more videos like this, leave a comment. I have fun doing this because it's kind of a little bit of research, which is kind of my specialty. So today I'm just going to talk about the history of the Good Molecules skincare brand, which was founded in 2018, typically by Niels Johnson, who was a founder of Beautylish. So Niels Johnson was prompted to start this brand. Interestingly enough, it was the same year that Deciem founder Brandon Truax was found deceased outside his condo building, which I think they ruled either accidental or a suicide. And throughout that time, Brandon Truax had been very temperamental. I believe somebody, or Nicole, who worked with him at Deciem, said, "You didn't live in Deciem in 2018 if you didn't get fired at least once." So there was a lot of turmoil going on there, and Brandon Truax was pulling brands out of different stores. And what really prompted Niels Johnson to do this, I think, was when Brandon Truax pulled The Ordinary out of Beautylish. That left a huge margin in Beautylish's skincare lineup. And they thought, you know what, we should just start our own brand and kind of make it similar, have a similar price point, and go from there. So that kind of is the background of it. Niels Johnson is a co-founder of the cosmetic site Beautylish, which is based in San Francisco. I believe they still do other shipping out of San Francisco. And that website was launched right around 2011. So it was about 7 years after finding that they went into Good Molecules. So there's a lot of brands that followed in Good Molecules' footsteps, or I should say, really, in The Ordinary's footsteps, by starting affordable brands with mostly single-star ingredients. So I've got a lot of brands, a whole list. Q&A Skincare, Revolution Beauty's Revolution Skincare, Geek and Gorgeous, which happened to be out of this whole list, one of my favorites. Be Minimalist, which is a brand I actually just purchased everything from theirs a couple months ago, so I'll be reviewing some of those. Costa Baja, that's a K-beauty brand that also is pretty similar to The Ordinary. The Inky List, another huge one. Most of their products are under $20. Garden of Wisdom, I must be honest and say I've not tried anything from that brand, but a lot of people compare it to The Ordinary, so I feel like I need to try that brand as well. Face Theory is another one. However, they compete on kind of the packaging and the products, but the prices aren't as competitive with Face Theory. They're a little bit more expensive. Maybe that's just for us in the US. I don't know. And then another one, Revox B77, and then Typology. I would say those brands, very similar to what The Ordinary started. So this Niels Johnson, he really began his career at Bergdorf Goodman selling men's clothing before becoming an angel investor in companies like Warby Parker, which is known for their eyeglasses, Everlane, and Affirm. I will say I have no idea how he became that wealthy. He must have been more behind the scenes at Bergdorf Goodman than just on the floor retail. Or else how to get that much money to start investing. Okay, so between Beautylish and Good Molecules, because Good Molecules brand is listed under Beautylish, they currently have between 50 and 100 employees. And if you look at just the Good Molecules side, it's speculated that they have about 10 employees. However, I think they're all kind of working between the scenes at both Beautylish and Good Molecules. So Good Molecules was venture capitalist funded, privately owned. One of the biggest funders for Good Molecules was Amore Pacific Ventures. So Amore Pacific, Asian beauty brand. Apparently they have a huge network where they go and fund certain startups to help them out. And Good Molecules is also based out of California, but over 90% of products are manufactured in the country of Korea, which is why I always associate them with Korea. When I talk about Korean products, Good Molecules is one of the brands I think about a lot. So Good Molecules, their most affordable serums and products are $6. And their most expensive product is $18. So that's a nice variety, a nice price point for a lot of people, especially when things are increasing in costs. So Good Molecules and Nils Johnson about a year ago stated that they weren't going to raise their prices. And at some point, I have a feeling if inflation and the value of money and things like that continue to change, I don't know how much they'll be able to stick with that, but at this point, that's what they've said. So the other thing, what I really like about Good Molecules, what they've done is they list their entire formula of every product. They give away their formulas to anyone who wants it for free. So they list the product, what percentage of it is in the product for every ingredient. They didn't start out doing this, but they have moved to do this to be more transparent. And so everyone can see. People want to know what's in their product. So when I look at, this is their body discoloration corrective treatment. You see 59.7, water. And then you've got other ingredients, Saccharomyces, ferment, niacinamide. It's got all the percentages on there. So it's transparency. A lot of brands have kind of similarly followed suit. I won't say a lot of brands, but some brands have followed suit doing something similar. So Nils states, I think we're the first brand to basically just give away our formulas. The reason we did that is, one, we want you to know what's in our products. And also for us, it invites a good way that we can have honest conversations about how much we're using of different ingredients. So
Open source.
Open source, yeah. So I guess if I ever start my skincare line, here's my first product. I'm kidding. But I'm sure other people do that. White label things. Yeah. There's some expensive brand at Sephora that did that. They're not at Sephora anymore, though. So I found that interesting. Okay, so the brand is also committed to being environmentally friendly in a few ways. Johnson says we try to use glass. He said about the packaging. We try to use materials that are either things that are already recycled, materials that can be recycled. And they try to source their ingredients ethically, citing the rosehip oil is from Chile and is sourced under fair trade practices. They've also made some changes. They reduced the amount of glass used in their droppers by 22%. So they say we've actually increased the active ingredients by 50%, lowered the glass by 22%, and we're able to eliminate some ingredients we felt we needed to get rid of as well and keep the price the same. So they previously had a moisturizer, which is packaged in a glass bottle similar to this with a pump on the end. And then they changed it to a tube packaging. So you've got rid of some materials there, the pump, plastic for the pump and things like that. So they're able to be more friendly that way. So they also mentioned Good Molecules is a cruelty-free brand. Almost everything is vegan with the exception of few products. And Good Molecules is now launched at Target just recently, but they're also at Ulta and Beautylish. So, and they also say the male market is a great growing market for them. They're concerned with products and use the discoloration serum, the toner, eye patches, and the cleansing bar is great. And their two best-selling products are their niacinamide toner and the Yerba Mate Wake Up Eye Gel. And I will say I love both of those. The niacinamide brightening toner, I just absolutely loved. It was amazing. I'll definitely be picking it up again. Wonderful product, very effective and super affordable as well. So I would say overall, the pros and cons with Good Molecules. I'm going to start with the pros first. Cruelty-free, mostly fragrance-free, and affordable. When they launched, a few of their other products had some fragrance in them, but they eventually reformulated them to make them more friendly for sensitive skin types, which is great. And I would say the con with this brand, they tend to lack really exciting chemical exfoliants. They have a glycolic acid toner, which is nice, but they're lacking a variety of different exfoliants, chemical, or they have a nice physical exfoliant, but they're lacking BHAs in some of their stuff. They've got a BHA cream, gel cream, which I didn't love. So I would love to see them kind of come out with some nice lineup of more exfoliants is what I'd like to see. And then last but not least, I thought I'd talk about the good and the bad products. Well, Ike says hello, and Ike doesn't want to say hello. Come here, Ike. Ike says hi. He's depressed because it's snowing. Okay, so my favorites, the pineapple exfoliating powder. I went through a phase where I really didn't like any physical exfoliants. However, I've started to like them and appreciate them in routine occasionally. Not frequently, but occasionally. So this one's really affordable, very nice. $16 at Ulta. Their cleansing gel, I will say, I believe they've changed the packaging for this, but it's still the same cleansing gel. It's $12. And a lot of people absolutely love that. Newer product of theirs, their 1% Retinol Oil. Really enjoy this one. It's $12. It's a hydrating retinol product, so a lot of them can be kind of drying, but when you mix it in with an oil, retinol becomes less drying and especially wonderful. And sometimes I just apply it as the last step of my routine at night, and it soaks in while I'm sleeping and I wake up to super soft skin. The Yerba Mate Wake Up Eye Gel. Absolutely love this product. This is my second tube of it. Really like it. It's great for puffiness. A lot of people are concerned about puffiness around the eye area, and I am as well. The older I get, the more I notice puffiness, and this seems to help with it as much as a topical product can. And then for my favorites, last but not least, their Discoloration Correcting Body Treatment. I do enjoy this one. I think I neglect my body a little bit, but I have hyperpigmentation all over my face, and equally, I've got it on everywhere, on my arms. I've got sandal mark tans from 30 years ago that still are stubborn, but this seems to help a little bit, and it's hydrating. And then the least favorite product of mine, which I still think it works well for most people. If you use it under a foundation, it's great, but if you just use it on its own, it's not my favorite. And that's their Sheer Mineral SPF, and it's $12. 30 SPF sunscreen. I find it has a little bit of white cast. If you use it under foundation, it's fine, but it's a little bit high maintenance for me, especially for it just being SPF 30. So, although I will say, the reviews of this one, a lot of people love it. So, nothing wrong with that. If it works for you, go for it. So, anyway, so it's still kind of a new brand, but we're 6 years in, and they've really done a lot of interesting things so far. And I think this brand is well worth checking out by you. Check some of these out and let me know your thoughts on it. Or if you have any favorites, leave a comment, and I will see you guys more tomorrow. Thanks so much. Bye-bye, guys.